All right, so finding classes, how big they should be, how many you should have, that's something that we can do, okay? Using a little bit of logical reasoning, we can come up with that, okay? Second thing we need to do, after we have our classes, we need to construct a frequency table. Remember, a frequency table is just a listing of all of our data that shows how much data shows up into each one of these individual classes. Okay? So we have to sort our data into the appropriate class. Now, back in my day, when computers were things that took up entire rooms, this was not a very easy thing to do. But Bill Gates, in his infinite wisdom, got people together and constructed a program called Microsoft Excel, which will do a lot of this for us. Okay? What I've done here, this right here, I've gone through and I've asked it to go ahead and sort all of my data for me. And the bin sizes I chose had width 15. Okay? So when I sorted all of my data and looked at a frequency table, this is the frequency table that I happen to get when I sorted this data. As I change the bin sizes, obviously, or the class sizes, obviously my frequencies are going to change. But this is an example of a frequency table for the data that we have. Okay? Again, interpreting this table is important. This first bin represents all the values that are less than 15, less than or equal to 15. The second bin here, all the values between 15 and 30, 45 and 30, 60 and 45, and so on and so forth. One important thing to note, we need to make sure that our bins do not overlap in any way. Okay? I don't want the 15s to accidentally show up here in the bin with 30 as well. And so I need to make sure that all of my bins are not overlapping in any way. At the same time, I want to make sure that all of my data shows up in one of these bins. So make sure that when we're constructing our classes, we have that consideration to look at. All right, so here's my frequency distribution. I have my frequency table. Step 3, construct the picture. Okay? What is the picture going to look like here? Well, I have my frequency table. Let's just go ahead and start constructing my histogram. Histogram, again, the frequency goes along the vertical axis. And then down here along the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out each of my individual bin or classes representations. So the first bin right here is between 0 and 15. The next one between the 15 and the 30. And then the 30 and the 45. Continuing on like this, I get all of my classes represented. Okay? There I have my classes along the bottom. Now I just draw my bins at the appropriate height according to the frequency that they show up. All right? So for the first one, I have a bin of size 3, so I'm going to say that's approximately a bin of size 3. Going into the next class has size 28, so that's going to be quite a bit larger than this one. Maybe something like that. The next bin is the largest, has 53, not quite twice the size, but up here nonetheless. Okay, and then I can finish it off. Something like that. Okay. And so this right here is the picture that goes along with that data of football touchdowns by team that I collected.